Okay, so here we are with the side panel.
Sure, this is the side panel of the jacket. You can see the more curved section. The longer section is joins onto the back. The shorter section here joins onto our front panel. Before we join them together though, we need to sew a dart. So we have our 3 drill holes here, and again, you know, the drill holes, you'll see them on the outer fabric, but you might not see them on the interfacing. So you can put 3 pins in there as a guide, and we'll start sewing 1 centimetre above the pin here. So I'll just do a little back tack, and then I can pull the pin out, and we're going to work down, so we'll sew 1 centimetre inside the pin here, so I can just angle it and work down to there and then pull the pin out. And like when we sewed the front dart, if you want to transfer it so that the pins are actually on this side, you can do that as well, but I'm just using a slightly quicker method. And then down here, and then 1 centimetre past the drill hole there.
Great.
Okay, now it's our side panel. We are going to press that soon, but before we press it, we're going to sew the side panel onto our front panel here. Now, what you'll find is because this section of the front, our side of the front, goes onto the bias, so it has a little bit of give in it, so it can be a little bit stretchy. So when we sew them together, we're going to sew it with the side panel on top because it has less stretch. So we'll put our seams together here, sew them at 1 centimetre, and we're just going to work up. You should have a notch here. So there's a notch there to indicate where this joins up, and then there's another waist notch as well. So we're just going to sew here, sew to this point here, front panel, make sure you back tack. And because we're actually going to cut into this section to do the pocket, when you get up here, just do a back tack, and you'll see that that's just going to hold that in place, so when you cut through, this seam doesn't come undone. So then to start on the next section, I'm just going to line this up here, and we'll put a pin in there to hold that together. And we're going to work from here, so you can see where I'm going to start sewing here. Start sewing, and then when we get up to the top here, you'll see that there is actually this section here, so it's not that the notch matches up with the top there, because then you'll get this excess fabric. You do actually have a little step, because when we stitch, we're going to stitch up here, and it's going to join up at that point, and that's why you have the little step there to indicate the seam allowance. But that should really, if you sit it there, it should really just fall into place, and you shouldn't have to manipulate it too much. You can see the step there, and then back tack.
Great.
So there are side pieces. So now we're just going to take this to the iron, and we're going to, this is the front of the garment, so we're going to press this dart towards the back, and we're going to press this seam open.
Okay.
Alright, so we've got our dart here. So again, when you start doing the dart, if you pull with your fingers to try and make that first section as flat as possible, work your way into the middle, and then pull at the top, that nice and flat, and pressing towards the back. And then on our side seam here, do the same thing. Don't just sort of plonk it down, because you'll get a pleat under there, because there's a slight hip shaping here. So press this open, and then manipulate the fabric. There we go, so we press the seam open, and that's our side panel complete.
Great.